with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat close. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show. Yo, what is up? What is up, friends? You know who it be. Your brother in time, Ballin' Buds. I am Omar, the sports professor, the street professor, whatever you want to call me. I be a professor everywhere I be. And today we have a super special episode. We had to come on a little impromptu because last night, especially if you're a Commanders fan and you are watching this right now, we thank you for tuning in. Let me just make sure that we are live on Instagram and Facebook to make sure that everyone can see us. Yes, we are now live on Instagram and Facebook. Again, we thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe at Ballin' Buds, BALLANDBUDS. And again, today is going to be a special episode. So today we are going to have an exclusive interview with our NFL and DC Commanders insider, Shane Peacher, on Twitter or X at Peachomania, and he has obviously been with us here at Ballin' Buds since the beginning. He is our NFL Commanders insider, but he is also the DC Superfan, and he, my friends, was the one that was taunting Tyrique Stevenson at the goal line and causing him to miss the hail victory that brought an amazing victory for the DC Commanders and all of their fans. He was literally the one talking that smack to Stevenson, which caused him to, completely bungle that play. Excuse me. And we will talk with him, an exclusive interview about exactly what happened and how it all went down. First, though, Professor Semanalmente is going to be my new weekly show going forward. Let's hit the headlines of what happened this past week, not only in sports, but also in world news and pop culture. So first, we like to start with sports. Let's update you on the World Series Game 3 tonight. Dodgers, Yankees. Dodgers will run out, one of their best pitchers, Walker Buehler. Unfortunately, he has struggled a little bit in the postseason and has not been his full self since coming back from injury. The Yankees need this game badly and the next game. Next game is a bullpen game for the Dodgers. For those that are uninitiated, that means that they are going to run out a bunch of relief pitchers instead of normally running out a starter that you would hope to get you 4 to 5 innings. That usually is a recipe for disaster if you do not have a good bullpen, and they've been stretched thin already. The Yankees have to win the next two. I think they do. Now, I do think the Dodgers take Game 5 in New York and go back with the 3-2 lead, but that's another thing for another day. We'll actually ask Shane Peacher what he thinks about that as well. And hopefully as well have our MLB insider Mike Wiebe on soon to talk at World Series as well. Maybe even after, we'll just bring him in for a review. So you got that going on, right? Also, we have obviously the NBA and the NHL seasons have started. So those are in full bloom, as you may, or in full mode, as we could say, right? Because it's that season mode. So let's look at the power rankings in the NBA. This comes strictly from NBA.com. They're not my power rankings. Boston Celtics, that's why I didn't want to make my own, because y'all could be, oh, you're a homer, Omar, because you're a Celtic. Yes, I love my Celtics, but they are still number one. They are crushing teams left and right. And again, barring some unforeseen injury, there's no way they don't repeat. They are even better than they were last year. Moving on, number 2, the Oklahoma City Thunder, just like they improved last year. SGA, Chet Holmgren, they are a young team, which is the best part about that is they are young, but they are ready to compete. Number 3, surprisingly, the Los Angeles Lakers. AD came out the first game and had a throwback game like you haven't seen in forever. And then LeBron came out the next game, had 16 points in the first. So these boys are going off. I think one thing that happened there, I know everybody likes to get on the Bronny situation and how he's now and it was nepotism. I talked about it with, Mel from Man Down Sports, talked about it with my IOW brothers, with Cover D. We all talked about it on air, and it was nepotism, him bringing his son into the league when, maybe he wouldn't have been drafted, neither here nor there. I think what actually happened is LeBron wants to put on the best show for his son, show him how to play the game the right way and try to play to the best of his abilities. So I would not be surprised if we see the best LeBron we've seen ever. He said he wants to play 82 games this year, which he hasn't done, but only one other season. So you can see, I think his son is really motivating him. Number 4, let's move on. The Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron's old team. They are playing well. And again, they are a young team as well, led there by Donovan Mitchell. And then finally at number 5, the New York Knicks. Yes, they did get blown out by my Celtics in game 1, and I was quite happy about that. But they have come back to win their next game. And again, you can't count anybody out for having a bad first game. Even though I hate the Knicks, I'm not going to do it. I'm not counting them out. They will be there at the end of the season. This ranking is, representative of that. So now let's move on to the NHL power rankings. And so here, right, we got number 1. They have the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg Jets have been hanging around the last few seasons, just trying to get better and trying to improve every year. And so far, they have done quite well. They've been leading the ranking. They just came in to lead the rankings now for the first time this season. But their offense is just on fire. Number 2, the Dallas Stars went to the championship last year, to the Stanley Cup, as we remember. Excuse me. That was the year before. Geez, I'm getting my years jumbled up. Either way, really good team. They're always in contention. We expect them to be so again this year. Same thing with the Rangers. They are at number 3. The New York Rangers are back. Number 4, the Florida Panthers. They are actually the one that went to the championship last year. Take my apologies, Florida Panthers, but they're at number 4. And then finally, your Vegas Golden Knights. Since they became an expansion team, they have always been in the hunt since they won that first initial year. So that is the updates with those. And then finally, for last here in sports, we'll look at the NFL playoff picture right now. And if you're looking at and I'm gonna say this real quick because I know we're about to bring him in a second. The NFC, his Commanders are number 2 at 6-2, Lions at 6-1, so they lead there. The Lions, and you got the Falcons, Cardinals, Packers, Vikings, and Eagles at 5-2, rounding out that NFC playoff picture. The AFC playoff picture, you have the undefeated Chiefs, of course, after beating my Raiders, Texans, Bills, the Steelers. Shout out my boy Clutch Cleveland. The Steelers, who is also a good friend of Shane Peaches as well. Broncos, surprisingly, hot take Jake's Broncos at 5-3. I did not see that coming at all. I'm a hater. Hate the Broncos and the Chiefs. Lamar, I know you're out there, Wildcard Mar. I know you're listening. Ravens, 5-3 at number 6. And the Chargers, again, why do my Raiders suck, but all the other teams are good in my division? They're at 4-3, bringing up the playoff rear. And so that is it for the sports update. Really quick, we have Shane Pitcher here, and we are about to bring him on, but I do have a couple of news topics I do want to bring on real quick before we bring him in. So do not forget, everybody, the election is next week, Tuesday, November 5th. That is the most important thing. Make sure, and look, I'm not one of those people that says you have to vote. because I've abstained from voting before, and I'm also a veteran, and I was one of those that fought for your freedom to vote. I also fight for your freedom to not vote. So I respect your decision either way. But when you do vote, you do contribute to the democratic process, and also you help to elect or try to help elect the leader that you want elected. Does it always happen? No, as we've seen quite demonstrably in the past few years. But if you are going to vote, make sure you get out there next Tuesday, November 5th. Also, it's getting really crazy out there in all the other countries with the elections, so we're not going to get into it, but you should look up Japan and you should look up Georgia. They are as well, because we talked about El Salvador a few months ago going through it. They're all having election issues as well. A lot of people claiming this whole rigged election and stolen election like Donald Trump did in the last one. It's also happening in other countries as well, so y'all should definitely check all that news out and stay informed on that. What else do we got? One other thing I wanted to say. You know what? No, I'm going to leave that. This week, I'm going to have another show later on this week, or maybe next week. I'm not sure yet. So do not worry. We'll get into that later. I'll do a whole subject on that. For now, let's go ahead and bring in our special guest. Yes, he is our Ball and Buds NFL and DC Commanders insider. I don't have any special music for him. I should actually probably have some. So I'm going to just put on a little bit of some rock music for him to bring him in. NFL Commanders insider. He is on X at Peachomania. He is our friend of the show and my personal friend, Shane Peacher. Welcome in, my brother. How is it going today?
It's going great. What a victory Monday for my Commanders, my friend. My God. And I was there front row and live in the end from the end zone for that Hail Mary play.
Hey, let's get right into it. This is why we have so many people watching right now. They are probably all Commanders fans. They saw my post. They saw you were going to come in and tell the tale. So, my friend, the first question I have, because also everybody, you can check Shane Peacher called into the Fox Sports radio show earlier today. That is on Twitter again, or X at Peachomania. You can check out that clip. You can also check it out on Ball and Buds as I reposted it. So he was on there already for a longer for a long interview, a 5-minute interview there. But we're gonna ask him some of the same questions. But I also want to ask, because they didn't really get a clear answer from you on this. Please describe to the fans again before we start with the story. Where exactly were you seated? Because in the video, Tyrique Stevenson is shown pointing towards the corner or maybe even the side of the end zone rather than straight ahead. So you tell us where you were seated? I
was sitting right in front where he was at in the end zone. And yes, he was taunting the whole time, even before the play. I mean, he was taunting everyone. When the snap happened, he's looking right at me, Omar, and he tells me to go the F home. It's like, go the fuck home, go the fuck home. And I'm sitting there yelling back, shut the hell up. I was devastated at the time because the Bears had just scored. It looked like we blew a game that we should have won. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden the play's going on in the background when he's yelling at me. And I'm like, whoa, all the Bears fans around me, turn around. And that little bit of delay made him a second late getting there, and he tipped the ball right to Noah Brown for the game-winning touchdown. And then if you saw Eberflus's interview today, he said he was supposed to be boxing out Noah. So he wasn't even where he was supposed to be because of the taunting.
And that's what I was going to follow up and ask you. Because obviously you are an NFL insider for a reason, because you are super knowledgeable at the sport of football, among many other sports, but definitely the sport of football. That him arguing with you getting it right. It's like we both watch our big wrestling fans. So when you get the referee distracted and he doesn't see the pin, that's all I could think about. So while you were taunting him, there were two other things that were missed here. First of all, even after he turned around and saw the players running downfield, he still stayed in the same spot trying to protect that open. right? So that was mistake number one.
Correct. Hey, buddy, you're freezing on me. I don't know if you can still hear me. I can't hear you at all.
Apologies. Excuse me.
There we go. I got you now. I got you.
Okay. My bad. Temporarily, technology, it is what it is. But what I was saying is, not only did that first mistake come in where he waited on the left side to protect that zone instead of following all the receivers over, which may be in the play call, but that made him a little more late. And then when he got there, he tipped the ball up. I love how McAfee said it. He looked like he was a server at a restaurant. He just tipped the ball up instead of, as we all know, even amateur players, former players and fans such as ourselves and experts, we know you don't tip the ball up, you knock the ball down. So in football terms, in great analysis that you have, tell us about those other mistakes he made on that play.
I mean, he was just late, Omar. And I think he tried to tip it down, but he got there too late, so he couldn't get all the ball. So it kind of tipped off his fingertips. So it made it go back. And there was a few people in the crowd that called the play Noah's Ark because Noah Brown caught it and it kind of arced up to him. So I kind of loved that. I was dying. But, dude, I wanted to run on the field, and then I was like, man, I can't get arrested and not enjoy this. But the adrenaline, man, I'm telling you, I've never been in such an electric arena. It was amazing, especially Northwest, especially there. That place, yeah. I'm usually leaving there sad 90% of the time. You know what I mean? It's awful.
So just to recap for those who are just showing up, because I see a few of y'all just coming in now, we have an exclusive interview with Shane Peacher. He is our NFL and Commanders insider. He is also on X at Peachomania. You can find his Fox Sports interview he did there earlier and as well on Ball and Buds. But we have him in here because he was actually the one who was taunting Tyrique Stevenson.
He was taunting me first. He was taunting me first. I just want to make that known.
And you were defending the honor of yourselves and all Commanders fans.
Yes.
And you caught him up so bad that he completely bungled the play, messed up, and it led on to Hail Victory or Noah's Ark or whatever other clever names we can come up with to
Hail Maryland. I heard that.
Hail Maryland. So now I heard you talk about the despair of Bears fans. So for the glee of the Commanders fans watching right now, can you repeat what happened after the Bears fans were talking all that crap after the touchdown?
They just a lot of hands on head, a lot of straight to the seat. You know what I mean? It was done. I mean, there was a few guys I thought were going to puke. And I understand it, man. I would have been the same way, my friend. You know what I mean? And then another thing, I saw Stevenson's interview today. That motherfucker said he was cheering with the Bears fans. No, you're a liar. You were trying to taunt us. You thought you won, but you didn't. That's what happened.
I mean, you could see clear as day in the video. There was no talking with the Bears fans because the motion that he was making were taunts. He was like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
So you are, I can't, at this time though, when you're actually talking crap to him, obviously, Commanders fans are diehard. They're very rabid and loyal, so they're not going to give up if they're still there. They think that this play is going to be completed. How was the crowd around you, or were they were despondent?
Dude, no, we thought it was over, man. We thought there was no chance. But dude, when that ball landed in Noah's hand, I have never in my life hugged so many strangers. The roof, if there was a roof, it would have blown off that place, man. I'm telling you, man. It was electric. I can't explain it any way. Electric. That's the perfect word for it.
And so now, and again, we have so many Commanders fans watching now because that's what we promoted this as. So talk to your fans about what you see for the team going forward. Obviously, as I mentioned before you came on, y'all are 6-2 and number 2 in the NFC. What are your thoughts on the Commanders for the rest of the year?
Bro, it just seems like a team of destiny. Everything is bouncing our way. And as the kids would say, I think Jaden is him. And I've been telling you that for weeks, man. And it's not just his athletic ability. He is so poised. He is so just confident. He stands in there. Every time we need a play, he makes it. You hear about how he's there at 4 a.m. before everybody else, and he's got his workouts in. He's there an hour after everybody leaves. He's doing that virtual reality training. It's unbelievable, man. He just seems to be a film warrior, man. And that's most important than anything. That's what makes the greats, the greats.
Yep.
If you can be good, you can be great, and then you can be special. And I'm hoping he's special. I'm telling you now, and I'm going to say it right here. Dale, that's our friend Dale, is a Chiefs fan.
The snail.
I'm hoping we have talks in February. He's coming down the road, buddy. That's what I'm hoping.
Ooh.
And if you want my answer,
Super Bowl.
I'm not saying that this year, man, but I am saying we're definitely a playoff contender. No doubt about that. We are legit in that regard. And who's scary in the NFC right now besides the Lions? We could win a game or two in the playoffs, maybe. Get me to an NFC Championship is where I think we could go. But I would love to just get there. I just want to get there. That's the goal right now.
Yeah, and I heard them ask you that on Fox Sports about what you thought about that as well, and you gave them the answer, and they came back with, well, there's all these other teams. But you're right. The only one that is terribly very scary is the Lions. Everyone else, there's 5-3, there's 6-2, they're there, the Eagles and other teams, as they mentioned, but no one is truly, truly dominant so far in the NFC except
maybe
the Lions.
Maybe San Francisco if they get healthy, right?
Right.
They're always there.
Because they've been unhealthy. Right. I've said that all season. Right. Okay. All right. Well, before we get you out of here, and look, we got a Cowboys fan, David Dubois, my brother. Support his mission. He has a.
You can support his mission, but they're not very good. They're not very good. Not this year.
Yeah, they're not.
Who would have thought losing Dan Quinn would be that big of a hit too? And that's another thing I'll say. I was not very happy with the Quinn hire because I think I wanted Ben Johnson, but he's the right guy. I admit I was wrong. The culture has been changed, and what it is too, he hired a phenomenal staff. He went and got the best offensive guys. The best running backs coach, and that's what it is, man. That's what did it. And thank you for being wrong this time to myself.
And what's funny about that is you mentioned how you were worried about him possibly, and a lot of people have blamed the playoff defeat that Dallas took last year at his hands because they gave up 42 points. But we're seeing now that Dallas defense sucks without him. So maybe it wasn't him.
Look, since we've been gelling, look at our turnaround on defense, man. I know people think our defense stinks, but it has been totally different the past 3 games. It might be because, we haven't played great teams, but I'm telling you, we got good pass rush and we got good linebackers. The secondary, but if you can get to the quarterback, the secondary doesn't matter, right? Like, it helps the secondary out. So we shall see.
All right. Well, damn, that was an awesome interview, an awesome game, a game that the DC Commanders fans will never forget. We got the exclusive interview with Shane Peacher, who was the fan that was there talking that crap with Tyrique Stevenson on the field that caused him to mess up the Hail Mary. We got a question from the fans. Oh, this is Hot Take Jake, my brother from the Bottom Line Sports. Make sure y'all subscribe at the Bottom Line Sports. We will be on live tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. He says, ask if Jaden is running away with best rookie QB, or even you can go with rookie of the year, especially after beating Caleb.
That's not even a question. He's been way better than him. People don't realize this. Caleb Williams yesterday, through 3 quarters, Omar only completed 3 passes for 33 yards.
Oh,
he had 100. He had 100 yards in the 4th quarter. That's where all his yardage came from.
And one of them came from a 69-yard pass.
Correct. And I saw when I got home when I watched I recorded the game and rewatched it, but they said that it was like a record since 1932 that a player only had 3 completions through 3 quarters. So it happened when the forward pass wasn't really there.
Right. Yeah. Before the forward pass was invented. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Bears fans are talking so much junk. They have Mahomes, Trubisky PTSD, bro. So they want to down Jaden. We love Caleb. He's from here, I don't down Caleb. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good, man. But they have that PTSD, man, and they want Jaden to fail. It's weird. It's a weird flex, man.
Well, it is probably weird, but at the same time, I guess you can understand since they picked the quarterback in the same draft. I guess kind of makes sense. Let's take a question from our brother, Clever D, the Combat G, has a question for you. What week will the division be wrapped up for the Commanders?
It's gonna.
Now remember, the Eagles are 5-3,
yeah,
so the Eagles are only 1 game behind.
Exactly. The Eagles are hot. It's gonna go to the end. I'm gonna say week 16. 16 is when
but you're predicting Commanders?
I'm right now. Yes. Right now, yes.
Ooh.
But that Eagles game in 3 weeks is huge. And by the way, I hate that it's a Thursday night game. I think it's unfair for both of us to have such a big matchup on a short week.
Ooh.
That's always bullcrap.
Point.
I don't know why they do division matchups on Thursday night football. That should never happen. But that's just my opinion.
I agree completely with that. I've never thought about that, but I agree completely. They should never have division matchups on a Thursday. I agree. Too important of games. Yeah, too important of games. Yeah. Will the Cowboys get swept? Another question from Clubber D.
Yes, they stink.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
That's what
you stop CeeDee Lamb, you stop their offense. They can't run the ball. Their defense is horrible. They can't stop the run. That's our specialty. We're going to run all over them, keep the ball away from Dak. I think we'll sweep them, yeah.
Okay. All right. And finally, no other questions there. Everybody make sure, again, you subscribe on X. Follow Shane Peacher at Peach-O-Mania. So Peach like the fruit, O, and then Mania like the end of WrestleMania. And then also Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS, to make sure you follow all of our content. Finally, before we let you go, what is your World Series prediction going into Game 3 tonight?
Tonight, I think the Yankees got this one tonight. They can't blow it again. And I hate the Yankees, but whatever. But
yeah, me too.
I'll say Dodgers in 6, bud. Dodgers in 6.
Dodgers in 6. That was a pick. I picked the Dodgers as well in 7. So there you go. Like minds think alike, because we both hate the Yankees as well. Shane Peacher, obviously from the DMV, he is a Orioles O's fan.
The most disappointing season of the year. And it's worse. Baseball's the worst when you blow it, because the season's so long, and it's just like your heart gets ripped out that quick. It sucks.
Dude, look what happened to my Mets. Look what happened to my Mets. I was
but you didn't expect to be there though either.
No, that's true. That's true.
They made a really good run at the end of the year that was surprising. The Orioles were so good the first half. I thought for sure we would at least make it to the ALCS. So that was
Clubber D says you like the Nats and not the Orioles anyway. So.
Fuck them. I hate them too.
We all do. Thank you, my brother, for coming on. Go ahead and sign
Anytime.
off. Anything you want to say?
Hey, man, just hail to the Commanders. Hey, thank you for having me on, man. I love your show. Like I told you earlier, man, you're getting awesome at this. So keep it going, bud.
Hey, I really appreciate that, my brother. As always, we love having you on. You are NFL insider, our Commanders insider. Obviously, we have been friends for a long, long time, many years since we were children. So always wishing you the best, and we will talk again soon, my brother.
All right, take it easy, my friend.
All right. Later, y'all. Make sure you're subscribed at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS, for all the content. I'll be on tomorrow night with The Bottom Line Sports. Make sure that you also join our Facebook group. Face group book. I don't know what that means. Facebook group. It's at The Bottom Line Sports. We go live every Sunday and Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern on Sundays after the games and before the night game, and then 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays as well. Make sure that you watch out for my shows. This one will be coming on every Monday in the future. The Professor's Semanalmente, which is weekly in Spanish for those of uneducated marks out there. And as well, thank you. Shout out to the older D clubs, the Ridge, Derek clubs. We were all hoping for the O's, even us who are not maybe fans, since we're from that area. So again, make sure you subscribe. We love y'all tuning in. Check out D Clubs, the Ridge's little brother, my brother as well. Clubber D, the Combat G, will be coming on with another combat sports special and another banter, brawls, and bravado very soon once our boys get freed up with some time. Shout out to Mike Wiebe, who's doing his thesis. Shout out to Dave DeFore, now has his daily podcast for The Athletic, the NBA podcast. So make sure y'all check that out. As well, everybody else, IOW Sports, Man Down Sports for great NBA coverage, and all the other people that we work with. The Final Say podcast, Jake's new podcast. We appreciate all of y'all. Again, love y'all. Holla! 5,000.
He's with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist. Yo, I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated. Folks, get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.